Welcome back to The Richest Man in Babylon Explained. Last time we left off at Chapter 2, Part 1, and this video is going to be a continuation of that video. If you haven't watched the first video, the Part 1 video, I'll leave a link to it down below in the description box. So let's dive in. After listening to Algamish's advice on how to save money and build wealth, Arcad decided to try it. Each time he was paid, he hid away a tenth of his income, and to his surprise, he wasn't particularly short of money. He noticed little difference as he managed to get along without it. A year later, Algamish came to Arcad and asked him if he saved any money, and Arcad proudly said yes. Algamish was happy, and he asked, "Well, what did you do with it?" Now this is where Arcad made his first mistake in building his wealth. Arcad said that he gave his savings to Asmor the brickmaker because he was traveling overseas and he was going to buy rare jewels of the Phoenicians with Arcad's savings. Now Algamish got angry. He said that every person has to learn this lesson the hard way. He asked Arcad, "Would you go to the bread maker to ask about the stars?" "No, you'd go to the astronomer." "So why did you go to the brickmaker to buy rare jewels? Your savings are gone." And after saying that, Algamish left. Sure enough, the brickmaker was conned by the Phoenicians. They gave him worthless pieces of glass instead of actual jewels, and Algamish was right. Arcad's savings were gone indeed. Now, just a quick note before we go on. I want to point out that Algamish said that every person has to learn this lesson the hard way. Now, the benefit of reading a book and the benefit of watching videos like these is that we don't have to make the same mistakes. We can learn from Arcad's mistake. So the lesson to learn here is that if you're looking for advice, ask people who are experienced with what you're looking to accomplish. Meaning, go to the expert that you can find. That's why he says, you wouldn't ask the bread maker about the stars, you'd ask an astronomer. So the lesson to take away here is to be mindful of who you take advice from. Now getting back to our story, after losing all his savings from the first year, Arcad decided to try again. Now Algamish returned next year and asked, "What progress have you made since the last time I saw you?" Arcad said, "I've paid myself faithfully, and my savings I've entrusted to Agar, the shield maker, to buy bronze, and each fourth month he does pay me the rental." So what Arcad is saying here is that Arcad lent his money to the shield maker, who gives him interest on the loan every fourth month. Now Algamish says, "That's good. What did you do with the rental?" Arcad responds, "I have a feast with honey and fine wine and spice cake," and he tells Algamish all the things that he wants to do with the interest that his money is earning. Then Algamish laughs, and he says, "So you do eat the children of your savings. Then how do you expect them to work for you? And how can they have children that can also work for you? First get an army of golden slaves, and then you can enjoy what you want." Let me explain. So what Algamish is saying here is that Arcad has been spending the interest that his money is making him. And if he spends the interest that his money is making him, how can he ever expect his savings to grow? Arcad must reinvest the interest that his savings make to grow his wealth. Now with saying that, Algamish leaves and he returns 2 years later and asks Arcad, "Have you achieved the wealth you dreamt of?" Now Arcad says, "Not yet, but some I have, and it earns more, and its earnings earn more." Then Algamish asks, "Do you still take advice from brickmakers?" Arcad responds, "About brickmaking, they give good advice." Then Algamish says, "Arcad, you've learned your lessons well. You learned to live within less than you earn, you learned to seek advice from wise men, and lastly, you've learned to make gold work for you. You have taught yourself, number 1, how to acquire money, number 2, how to keep it, and number 3, how to use it." And therein lies the crux of this chapter. The 3 lessons we should take away are, lesson number 1, a part of all you earn is yours to keep, no less than 10%. Save 10% of every paycheck, everything you earn. Lesson number 2, live below your means. Live within 90% of what you earn, because you're saving the other 10%, remember? And lesson number 3, invest your savings into something that gives you a small but safe return. A small but safe return is more desirable than risk. This is how your money starts to grow. No matter what amount you invest something. According to Algamish, these are the keys to building wealth. And that's all I have for you for Chapter 2. I'll see you in the next video with more golden nuggets from this book. Thank you so much for your time.